Hello. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Munguli Sangtam, and today, as you probably read the title or seen the thumbnail, we're going to be talking about my experience studying abroad and why everyone should if they get a chance. Because for me, studying abroad was one of the best decisions that I've made, and a huge part of my growth as an individual is attributed to that. And this video is just an amplified version of the conversations that I've had with a lot of my friends who want to or are considering studying abroad, and those conversations have really been fruitful. So I just decided I'd make a video about an Indian studying abroad or living abroad, because I think that could provide value to someone who's considering or wants to live or study abroad. So I was in Hong Kong studying at SCAD, Savannah College of Art and Design, for the past few years. And if you're interested in that, I'll be posting a separate video on SCAD itself that, if it's already posted, you'll probably find it somewhere in the video, or I'll link it down in the description as well. So make sure to check it out if you want to know more about SCAD in particular, or just like an art school experience in general, or just a studying abroad in a college kind of a video. One of the most interesting things about studying abroad is that you meet people of the same age, from completely different backgrounds and completely different, with completely different upbringings and everything. Yet you're still connected and so in sync because of this thing called the internet and culture. Like, for me, that's one of the most interesting things that I've realized about studying abroad. Another thing is just like meeting people in general, right? Just such rich conversations and experiences that I have with people from like completely different backgrounds, completely different upbringings, like I mentioned. And it's different from traveling. Of course, you learn and it's an experience being a tourist, but it's a different thing when you're going to another country to like live there, and you're more grateful for what you already have back home. You appreciate and miss certain things from back home. Like for me, I miss the food from home, and I miss my mom and dad. And I grew up in a boarding school. Again, it's a completely different thing when you're in another country. Like, you just can't. It's not like a drive away, or it's not as accessible as when you're in the same country, right? You're more aware, you're more careful, and you're independent. For me, I like to put it in this way: when I'm in India, when I'm in my own country, I'm comfortable. I'm in my comfort zone. And let's say if I were to mess up, let's say I do something stupid, right? If I'm in India, I kind of know how to work my way around, right? I kind of know how things work. I know how to get out of things, and it's not a big deal. But it's a whole different thing when you're in a different country. You do a stupid thing, next thing you know, you're deported back to your country. And that isn't the best thing to do, I think. I mean, that isn't the best thing to do, right? If you disagree, no. I mean, I don't know. God help you. Honestly, certain laws are put in place to keep you and I in check, and we ought to follow them regardless of if you like it or not. So in that sense, you're more careful. And really, one of the things that I'm so glad I realized early on was that I wasn't only there to study, I wasn't only there for my college, but to take in the whole experience. And realizing that allowed me to live it to the fullest and make the most out of it. You know, moving around, exploring the whole city, exploring outskirts, not being hesitant to talking to more people, and just trying out things and being a tourist, right? When you're in a different country, you're living there, but you can be a tourist too. Like, there were times that I just went out with my friends being like, okay, let's be a tourist today, and we went explore a lot of different things, and those are the times where it's like super interesting. We just go and we don't know what we're gonna do, but we just be tourists. We explore the city, we're checking out places and all of that. And somewhat contrary to what I mentioned earlier about being careful, being in a different country, it's a little bit more forgiving as well. Let me explain. Like, you can ask stupid questions, you can be stupid, you can be unapologetically yourself. You can learn without having to worry too much about looking stupid or not knowing stuff, because you don't know stuff. You can genuinely ask questions and not be worried about having ought to know the thing already that someone expects of you when you're in your own country. If that makes sense, right? I hope that made sense.
I think it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, go back, rewind it, rewatch this last 10, 20 seconds. Because in my head it did make sense. If it doesn't, go back, it'll make sense. Rewind it, I guess.
And tying to that, like having to worry about what other people think or what people expect of you, this whole thing will be a fresh start. It is a fresh start. Like, literally imagine having to restart or relive your high school all over again, but this time a little bit more cognizant about the do's and don'ts. Yes, for some, high school was the best time of their lives, but for the rest of us, we would like to change a few things, right? Like, change a few things here and there, leave certain things behind and never kind of look back at it. Well, guess what? going to another country definitely helps. This whole thing is an opportunity. Like I mentioned earlier, it's an opportunity for you to explore and discover so many things. Try things that you've always wanted to try. More importantly, discover yourself while doing all of that. Especially as a creative, it opened my eyes to this plethora of inspiration and learning that I always go back to when I'm creating. All in all, like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, this was one of the best decisions that I've made in my life. If not the best, that changed my life. And I highly recommend it to every single person to at least try this once in their lives. If not studying, just living abroad. And of course, the common idea right now would be it's not for everyone, not everyone can do it. Maybe financially, maybe you don't think you're fit for it. Trust me, whatever the reason is, it's so much easier than you think. Now, more than ever. With all the opportunity around, with like scholarships and like just getting to reach out to so many universities and colleges, it's at your fingertips. It's just like go open your computer and look. You'll find ways, like so many ways to like make your dreams come true, man. Like just it's easy. It's easier now more than ever, at least, right? And you can always find ways to get things done if you really want to do it. And please let me know if you want me to make a separate video about the process of applying or the process of studying abroad or things that you need to keep in mind while doing so. I can ask a few of my friends where, like, my process was relatively easy, whereas it would be different for different fields. So if you want me to make a separate video, I can ask a few of my friends to chip in their 2 cents or give in their tips as well, right? So if you want me to make that video, let me know down in the comments. And yeah, subscribe and all of that. And just a reminder, I'll be posting a separate video on SCAD. It's probably there if you're watching it after like a few days after I've posted this video, that you'll probably find somewhere in the video right now or in the description. So make sure to check it out if you're interested in looking into SCAD in particular, or just like an art school experience, or just my experience about SCAD in particular. So yeah, go check it out and subscribe. Please subscribe. Please subscribe to this channel. This is new. This is probably like the second video that I'm putting out. So yeah. Please let me know what you think. Always open to suggestions and ideas and comments and whatever video you want me to make. I'm still finding my way through YouTube. Best way to reach out to me is comments and an Instagram DM. All of the handles and all of those things will be listed down in the description. So thank you so much. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching. God bless.